Hi, everybody. We're down here at the river for another absolutely wonderful day. I hope that your day is going marvelous. A quick visual descriptor. I have long brown hair, glasses, pink shirt. I'm wearing these bracelets, coffee mug in hand. Right behind me is the river and some trees, and you can see the sun on the water out here. All that beautiful sunlight on the water. It's a little bit cloudy, but there's enough breaks in the clouds that we're seeing this beautiful morning sun. And it is, it's beautiful. Oh, and look at the wind, it's just moving these big long branches and leaves around. I hope you have your coffee or tea, whatever it may be, whatever makes your day absolutely wonderful. I have coffee. And it is wonderful. It's comforting. Like the sound of this flowing river is comforting. Or the singing birds in the distance, they're comforting. Set my coffee down though for a moment. I'm coming to you right now through Restream, an absolutely wonderful software, and joining you on Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you're looking to get into live streaming or you're already live streaming and you want to up your game, consider Restream. Pretty awesome. Tools are really easy to use, and there's a lot of options. I can't recommend it enough. Little extra coffee's needed. Throat feels funny today, but that happens. That's okay. I'd like to talk to you about some skills. We're going to talk about becoming a better artist. And of course, you already know there's so many different skills in the arts. There's so many different things that we can learn, we can do, that we can apply to our work. There's a lifetime and then lifetimes more of learning we can do and still not know all there is to know about the arts. But I'm going to focus today on a particular skill that applies to visual art mediums, such as painting, drawing, video, and photography. In general, it can be said we perceive the world around. What does that mean? Well, say you're standing on the side of the road and a car flies by you. Now, maybe it's doing 35 miles per hour. Relative to you, it's moving very quickly. And as the car passes by, I mean, you might perceive it. You might perceive that that's a blue car. You might even perceive it, how many doors it had. But did you see it? I mean, did you really see it? If you were asked for specific details about it, if you needed to recreate it, to draw it, to paint it, could you? If you had to find an identical car for a photograph or for a video or film, could you? It's an interesting question. And if you have heard the phrase, can't see the forest for the trees, that's really what we're talking about here in a slightly different sense. When we see a forest, we see many, many trees. But how many are you seeing? What are you actually seeing there? Or are you simply perceiving the forest and the trees within? It's an interesting concept. What I would like to propose is working on your active seeing. going beyond just perceiving what's around you, going past just looking at the world. Our mind and our eyes play trick on us. And one of the tricks that our mind plays is everything our eyes take in, our mind tries to just simplify very quickly. We've seen trees before. We know what they look like. We've seen flowers before. We know what they look like. We know what a car looks like. So when we see or perceive these things in the world, we don't take in all the details. If someone gave you right now a dozen roses, you'd perceive those roses. You'd admire them. You'd hold them close. They'd be beautiful. You would experience their smell. You'd experience their color, their vibrance, their light. But if you see the rose, if you see the petals and the thorns and the stems, if you take the time to appreciate the finer points within them, if you were to draw those roses, you'd capture the character of their essence and life. And this can actually translate over to writing or uh, audio media, describing these things to others. But I won't get too far off topic. When we create art, the people who are going to be viewing it, we want to get them not just to perceive, but to see. Pick out details within something. Find the one special flower, the significant sparkle in the eyes of the person, a feature, something you can hold on to and make a centerpiece for your work. But you also need to practice on a daily basis, not just perceiving the world around you, but truly seeing it. Take more time to unravel, to dissect, to examine the world. It's an intimate process, more closely attuned to our environment, to our surroundings, to life. You might see someone, the way they're framed in camera, when you're going to take a picture. What do you focus on? Do you focus on their face, their smile, their eyes? Do you focus on the background beyond them and allow the subject in the foreground to become blurred, distorted, silhouette? How does the light cascade through the windows of the building where you're filming a scene? How do the shadows dance on the wall? Look deeper into your surroundings. See the world. It's at first a very active skill, but here's the great part. The more you see and the less you perceive, the more that it's going to become a passive process. Details will start standing out to you, even when you're not looking for them. And when that happens, then you can start to look deeper into the world. You can look at smaller or more obscure or abstract details. You can find the veins within the leaf on the flower, in the bouquet, being held by the person you're taking the picture of, or painting on a canvas. You can consider the moisture within those things, how it acts, how it moves, and how the light will pass through those leaves and be muted ever so slightly by the veins and the capillaries within the leaf. Leaves have capillaries and veins to allow water to pass through. See them in the work. When presented with a ballroom full of people, a stained glass window in a church in the morning, the table in your studio where you place the object to create a still life. Consider seeing the space. Take 5 to 10 minutes before you even begin working to absorb the detail, to absorb your surroundings and find out what's there to be seen. I find it pretty amazing what's there. And of course, there are so many different ways to become a better artist, and there's so many skills to learn. But for today, seeing and perceiving are actually a very useful set of skills for any number of artists. Spend some time. Now, get yourself an extra cuppa. You deserve one. I deserve one too. And before I get going, I just want to share with you a link to my website and gallery. It's going to be somewhere nearby, either in chat or in description, depending on where you're joining me. And if you go and visit my website and gallery right now, you're going to see all of my new art prints, and I've labeled them all so you can see which ones are art prints, just at a glance, because it'll say art print, new art print, right in the name of the listing. So you're going to be able to see it at a glance. It's going to be right there. Now, if you would like to get an art print and add some art to your life and expand your world, at checkout, use the code PRIDE, all capital letters, for 10% off. I just want to make sure that everyone can have something beautiful, whether it's one of my abstract paints turned into a beautiful art print, or charcoals, or drawings, or sketches. And I'm going to be more. But every time you get one, not only are you supporting indie art and gaining so much appreciation and thanks from me, but you're also supporting the other small businesses that make these art prints possible, from the printing company to the server host for my website, to the other independent creators that I work with, to my stream, to my videos, to my book, and to all the fun we have together. But I'm going to be getting out of here, so thank you for being here. Be excellent. Stay awesome. I hope that you have a marvelous day. Go out. See the world. Bye, everybody.